calendar workshop, and you are welcomed and a part of it as well. So, speaking about the years is what we were just talking about, where in the 5D calendar it is 2017, um, and how it is in Ethiopian as well as the Mayan. So, what I was just explaining is that the Gregorian calendar, once they started that, they put us in an 8 year lock. So 8 years ahead. And eight is infinite. I call it the infinite lock because eight means infinite. So it's very intentional, that they just happened to put us 8 years ahead. And though it looks like we're ahead, when you count the years, this is how you know the time, it just don't lie. You can't hide the truth. If you count the number, um, the year 2025 is a universal year of 9. 2017 is a universal year of 10. So we are actually, if you look at that divination of numbers, we are actually a year ahead. Does everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. So that's one of the things that we notice. So why I'm saying this right now, because we're talking about the overlapping time, the catch up time with this calendar. So the catch up, this is where I say it gives 5 3D a chance to catch up to us because we were already in a universal year of 10 on 2017, carrying out 2017. And so when they hit their 2026, their universal year becomes what? A 10. So they catch up to us. So even though in their Gregorian calendar, they feel like they have set us up, 8 years ahead, they're really behind. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got it, Zaya?
Yes.
Okay. So this is that
Fine.
overlap in time right now. So that's to kind of just show what this catch up time is, and I call it the transitional time. And so the calendar, how it came about, let's go a little bit back to see where how it came about was following the, what would I call it? The speak to me, spirit, bring it back. It was following, like I saw portals. There it is. The divination of numbers. And I would see portals and I would see vortices. And I specifically, when I first started seeing vortices, it was in this time. It was right in the time frame of January, February, and March. And I would see 01 to the 10th, from the 1st of January to the 10th, from the 2nd of February to the 20th, from the 3rd of March to the 30th. And each one was a vortex that got bigger and bigger and bigger. Like 1, 2, 3 is, I would call it the 1, 2, 3. So the first one would be 9 days. The second one would be 18 days. It would double up in the 9. And the third one will be 27 days. So each of them had the 9, the infinite number of 9 in it. And I believe I noticed that either in 2021 or 2022. And I just started to be intentional about these portals. Um, and then more and more that came through. Then 2022, we started doing the 5D. We did 5D independence. And so with 5D independence, that was on 2/22/2022. And we happened to, let me bring this down some so you can see how this week came about. Um, so if you look at the week, we happened to start on 2022. 2/22 was on a Tuesday, which, as you see at the beginning of the week, is a crown chakra day. We started on Tuesday and it went through 7 days. It ended on the seventh day where we had the what Declaration of Independence on the 28th. So it was 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. Yeah. So the root chakra day is where we ended it and we made like a whole declaration and we realized that that was 7 days. So in our little circle, we would kind of call it a week. Whenever we met once a week, we would meet on the day of rest, which would be the root chakra day. So that was how that week came about, from Thursday to Monday. And it just so happened that some of us in that group already had days off on Monday, right? Like they,
Yeah.
they already had, like, so it was kind of um unison or a common that we all just was off on Monday and was like, all right, that's the day of rest. So that part was my first sign of seeing that we're coming off of the grid. You know, we're doing things differently where everybody rests on Monday is the day of go, go, go. But we took that day as a day of rest. So it was just in honoring that, kind of came up with the week, and we would call it the week. And it happened to be during a new moon manifestation. We did one like the following week, right? We doubled up. That was the
Yeah.
first time, so we
Mhm.
doubled up. And when we did it the second time, it fell exactly in alignment with the new moon, which is when we're going from the crown going down. And that was how the weeks we started to look at it. Well, that is what a week is like. When you start a week, you start, you know, with your divine idea, and you go all the way through until you end up into the day of rest on the root. So that's how we said to, you know, start the week in that week. And then as we talked about it some more, it came in the divination of numbers came in more and more heavy. We would talk about, man, we got to have this 5D calendar so we could, you know, write certain dates down. There were certain things we were coming up with, and we found that it would be helpful if we had our own, you know, little 5D calendar to note these things in. Particularly me writing down the downloads. I was getting a lot of downloads that year, and it was kind of hard to keep up with. So everyone started to be interested in that, and the divination numbers came in more. So with that, we went into, I believe it was by 2023, starting to really see the infinite numbers of 9. That's what really brought it together. And I started to see why this thing was such a delay, because I thought it wasn't going to happen. And it's like, who is going to make up a calendar? Like, it seems so far fetched from me to create a calendar. But I started to see the numbers. I started tracking the infinite number of 9. And I believe that started with, I just realized that I put this on the wrong phone. In order for me to do TikTok, I'd have to use that phone. But I think I'm going to just leave it like that. Maybe TikTok, now is not the time for TikTok.
This is what?
This is YouTube. So I have YouTube Live. Go to it and see. I have YouTube Live. Did I get Nafisa? Okay, yeah, I see her there. Welcome in, Nafisa. So, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Greetings.
Hey.
I don't see you live.
Somebody was in already, because I saw one, and then
That's not TikTok?
they went out. No, it's not TikTok.
Or it's not Facebook?
Mm-mm.
Instagram? Because I don't see.
You don't see it? I don't know if anyone can check their phone, see if you see the live come up on your phone. I believe it's live on Instagram. If you can.
On Instagram?
Not Instagram, sorry. YouTube. On YouTube Live. It should be there.
How come I have to go to your page?
That's it.
Yeah, but I have to go to your page. Usually I get the notification.
Oh, some people, yeah. That's how you know it's shadow banned sometimes. You see that?
Yeah.
Usually he gets the notifications and it didn't come up. That's why I said YouTube, it has its way. I know they shadow ban. Now it's like if people don't go directly to my page, they don't get notified of things at times. Zaya, do you get notifications now?
What about TikTok?
No, YouTube.
Yes.
You get the notifications, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did
So-
you get this live notification?
When she put up the link for this, I did.
No, well, she's live right now. Did you get that?
Did you get this one? This live that I just went on? That I just opened up with
Not on
us?
YouTube, no.
No.
I don't see it. I don't
That's
see a
what I'm telling you.
notification. I'm looking out.
And even when I
Maybe because the technology knows y'all are here already.
yeah.
We was talking about all kind of technology. It's
Yeah.
like they already in the Zoom. We don't need to notify them.
Mhm.
AI.
Yeah. Right.
No?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
Roll with me.
Mhm.
So what we were saying was, okay, the infinite number of 9, and try this out for yourself. This, I definitely want you all to try for yourself, and you will
Do.
see, not try, that's right, do, and you will see the infinite number of 9. It repeats itself. So what happened was there was in 2023, I believe, 2023, That was the first time I heard this lady, Tanya Gabrielle. She does astronumerology, things like that. And she said there was a set of, was it palindrome numbers? No, it was the new beginnings numbers.
Beginnings, yes.
I named it that. She didn't name. I just called it that. Yeah.
Well, you always refer to it as
New beginnings.
Yeah.
And what happens is from the 10th of every month, and this still stands, right? From the 10th, between the 10th and the 19th of every month, particularly that year, when you count every date, every number, it matched with the date. So on the 10th, when you count up all the numbers, it equaled 10. On the 11th, when you count up all the numbers, it equaled 11. Like the what do you call it? The universal date.
Mhm.
The universal date of that day number, is that what it's called? The universal number of that day would match that actual day. And so I thought it was just for that moment, but something said keep writing it out every year, every month. So I checked it for the rest of the month, and it highlighted what the real month was. So it that was in February when it matched each one. And then when March came, it matched, it would say that number plus one, meaning on the 10th, it would be 10 plus 1, which is 11. And then it was so on and so on. And the next month, it would be 10 plus 2. And that was in what? Not March. The next month is April.
10 plus 2.
Yeah.
April, yeah.
Yeah, remember the numbers
Yeah.
went up. So it would be 10 plus 1, 10
Mhm.
plus 2, 10 plus 3 every month. So then it was, what was happening was by me following that pattern, it was redirecting me to let me know that these were the true months. These were the begin. I didn't even get into the cosmos yet, but it was showing me that January wasn't the first month. And that, so March being the 10 plus 1 was really the first month, and
Mhm.
so on and so on, which
Yeah.
allowed me to find the September. By the time we got to Sept being 7, that was the 7th month.
Mm-hmm.
And then October, right?
Eight.
That is 8, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I remember.
October, November, like it lined right up. So it was like, it's like it was course correcting me, if that makes sense. It was correcting me with the true timeline, and I had not yet went really deep into the cosmology of it yet. It was just saying, hey, this is the first month, this is the second month, this is what should be. And then when you start to do your research, and some people already have research, some of you may have heard about what's the middle month in the summer, July and August, how those are named after Roman leaders.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Augustus and
Julius.
yes.
Julius. Mhm.
That's
Julius Caesar. Is that him?
I don't know if it's Julius Caesar, but it's also, remember, the Julian calendar.
Yeah, there's a Julian.
There's a Julian calendar as well that
which precedes the Gregorian.
Which precedes the Gregorian calendar. So there was something about them wanting their, like, you'd have to research it too to see, because that's when I know that's what threw us off while they were creating the Gregorian calendar, while they were creating what they were creating. They had to plug in July and August for those two leaders. And that's what throws September off. That's what throws September, instead of it being a 7th month, into being what? A 9th month. Those 2 months, right? So y'all see it for yourself, right? I can't make this ish up. Has anyone else here heard of the those other 2 months being after Roman leaders?
Yep, I heard about it.
Okay. So you kind of could see how they started to fabricate. There you go. You start to see the fabrication inside the calendar. So that was the first, that was 2023, and it was kind of letting me know this is how it should be lined up. So then by the end of that year, I started to not only just notice the months, but as I followed that infinite 9 pattern, I saw that I did it for a whole month and realized that it repeated itself like that through an entire month. So this is another part. We're going to have to do a whole nother workshop for this one. This is a workshop for another time, but just I'm giving you a little snippet about it. There are actually 9 days in a week. By following the number of the infinite 9, they are actually 9 days in a week.
That's strong.
In a strong, we don't call them weeks no more. We call them in a strength, in a but just for sake of
Sake of-
definition, I'm gonna say the week.
It's challenging to keep up with the
Mm-hmm.
varying course corrections.
Exactly.
Instead of saying weak, it says strong.
Mm-hmm. After the 9, anew.
Mm-hmm.
Ashe, welcome in. And so if you do that, and I guarantee you could pick a month, just pick any month and write the dates. And what you do is you add. Somebody had a question, or oh, okay, no, I heard that. I was like, I heard something. No, it's okay. What they do is what you do is you add the date. For example, what is today? The 31st.
Mm-hmm.
So you would do 1, you would write the 1 for the January, 3/1/2026. You write out the entire date and you count every single digit. When you add up every digit, what do you get? I should have had my paper in front of me so I could add it up. I didn't do my today's date. Usually every day when I'm journaling, I would write it at the top and I would already know what today's date is. So write that in 1/31/2026 and tell me what number you get. We already know the year is a 10. So add the 1, that's 11. Add the other one, that's 12, and add 3. Is that a 15?
That's 14.
It's 14? Okay, I might have missed something. You did the 10?
Or the 10.
No, you don't have to add it. The universal year is a 10. So
Okay, so it's 15.
It's 15?
15.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 15.
Okay, I was right. So, and then the 5, what happens is when you get numbers like that, it always has to be reduced from a number of 1 through 9, because that's the numbers. The true numbers are 1 through 9 in repetition over and over again. So once you get to 15, 5 and 1 is what? 6, right?
Mhm.
So I would say the universal code, the universal date of today is 6. Tomorrow's universal date is going to be a 7. The next day after that is going to be a 8. And the next day after that is going to be a 9. Now for you can verify that. Oh, actually, no, it shifts like this because we're at the end of the month. Sometimes it flows right into the next month. Sometimes it pivots and shifts a little bit, but it will continue that pattern. So tomorrow will actually be 2. Let's see what write tomorrow and see what it looks like. Tomorrow will be 2/1/2026. So you have the 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13.
1,
2026.
1, 2026. It's going to be 2 plus 1 plus 10. 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. So 3 and 1 is 4. So now that one, it does take a little shift in this month change. So that one's going to start at a 4. Now, everything from there on throughout the rest of that month is going to be in that order. It's going to go 4. The next day is going to be 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9. Then the next date is going to add up to 1. I guarantee you. When you start to see the pattern, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't make this stuff up. It's going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it may show up in different combinations, but you're going to always see that pattern. And you're going to see it at least 3 times within a month.
Mm-hmm.
3 9s are what? 27. So in a month, you're going to see about 20. This is why they have a month to be about 28 to 27 days. You can roughly say within a month, there are about 27 to about 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Why I say 30 is because when you count the moon, the lunar cycle, when you count the moon, the way the sun and the moon moves, and we count the degrees of how we move around the sun, right? So how many degrees is in each house is about 29 to 30 degrees. Depends on how people look at it, 29, 30. And so within each month, there are about 30 degrees, which means within each month, there are about 30 days. So when you count this infinite 9, like what I'm showing you now, you're going to get about 27 days within each month. So it remember with time, it's never going to be exact. So when people look for exact
Yeah.
time, we can't catch the time. We're only going to get estimates. It's going to be a little off. It's going to be somewhere between that range. It's never going to be that exact. So a month is about 27 to 30 days. So it depends on which one. This is why there's no one way to have a calendar. I was going to say the commercial. There's no one way to eat a Reese's.
No, it doesn't mean though then that there are cycles. It may not be exact, but you have cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a shift, and then you have cycles and shifts.
Shifts and cycles. That would
Yeah.
be a better way to explain it, because it depends on the way the cycle is going. It depends on like we may say there are about 30 days, right? And each sign has 30 degrees, but it's still not that exact because it depends on what part of the orbit we're in at particular times. So when we're in the summertime, the months are longer because we're in a wider stretch of the orbit, if that makes sense. In the wintertime, it's shorter. That's why by the time they get to February, they tell us we got 28 days. Right? So it's longer in the summer, and then it gets shorter here because of the way we orbit. So it's the way we cycle around. So all of these things play a part. But just to have a rough estimate, let me see what it said. Read this for me. I want to make sure I got it. It says start adding the lines that
Start adding the times.
The times
that add up to 9,
mm-hmm.
and set up an inner power gate.
Ooh.
I do yoga and meditate 9:09 p.m., 7:20 p.m., 3:33 p.m. It opens up water from within, especially if the day lands on a 9.
Ooh, I like that. Thank you. What does it say? Dark matter?
Dark matter blaster 999.
999. I was gonna say this is a 9 person. You must have a what do you call it? 9. What do we call it? A lifeline. Life number
path.
9 or life path 9. Yeah, this is I was reading what he was saying. I already know this is a 9 person. So that's something that we can do, everyone, as well. He says it's a date of what is it? A gate?
Yeah, he says
I don't have my glasses,
especially
so
if the day lands on a 9.
If it lands on a 9. So that's why he works with the number 9. Excuse me if you're a she, I'm not sure because it just says
he.
It's a he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because 720 is a 9. Notice he's using numbers of the infinite 9. 720, that's a 9. 333, that's a 9. And what's the other one he used? 909.
Mm-hmm.
So there's using these portals of the 9. I am. He says, yes, I am 9.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that it takes one to know one. We got some 9s up in here too, right? We got some life path 9s up in here. So thank you for sharing that as well. So make me want to be more intentional about that. And I've been seeing a lot of numbers like that too. The 909s, the 80, like I've been seeing numbers like powerful like that. So with that said, where were we? With the weeks. So if you do your own, just play with the numbers for yourself. Those of you who are into numerology, and if not, you will be working with the calendar, and then you will become more inclined to the divination of numerology, because that's what actually guided me into seeing these patterns of numbers. And I'm telling you, one of the greatest things at the end of 2023 was really finding the infinite 9. When I saw that, it was just to see the powerhouse of the number 9, to know that, what was it? Any number times 9 equals 9. Like I was just blown away. I was like, I can't make this up. And I knew that this was at the end of 23. And I knew that once I got this, that was the completion that I needed. And I knew that I had to have this calendar ready for the following year. It was like, oh, that's what was taking me so long. So that was what, kind of we needed to wrap it up. So while I'm saying this to you, the weeks are really 9. And at some point, I am going to get the other calendar. This is a perfect transitional calendar just to help get us off of the old timeline. But the 9 days in a week calendar is a little bit, I want to say, a little bit more difficult to navigate and maneuver while still living in this world like this. Like, it's going to be harder to kind of cross that bridge. So that's why I held off on that. But I'm saying that to you just to let you know that our true weeks, it wouldn't be there if it wasn't so. There's no way. And believe me, the Gregorian calendars, I don't think they thought all of this out. But the thing is, you cannot hide the truth. The truth is always going to be inside of things. So even though they meant to throw that off, this is one of those things when they say, what do they say? How that old saying go? What you mean for bad will really be for good.
Yeah.
So what they meant to do to throw us off, because of the divination of the numbers and the true number, you can't stop the 9. You can't stop the 369, and you can't stop the infinite 9 within time. So you're gonna always find the truth if you follow these dates. This is where I realized, well, you really done messed up now, because now I'm counting the dates, and if you follow them, they're gonna give you a pattern, and you're gonna be able to find the portals. You're gonna be able to find the patterns in time, and you're going to see the truth. Why am I saying this to everyone? Because I want you to work it for yourself. This is more than just saying, I got this calendar, I see this calendar, I'm going to use this calendar. This calendar is really a tool. And I'm saying it so that you can invite yourself in to work with the numbers. Don't, rather than just check off a box and say, today is this day, look at the numbers and look at what jumps out to you. And when you add up the numbers, what patterns are you finding? You are going to definitely find information for yourself. Ashe?
Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Are we going to open up the days of the strong to the 9 chakras, like we have the 7 chakras here?
Mhm.
Are the days of the strong going to be the 9 chakras?
When I
Yeah.
send into that,
Mhm.
I
Or you
would
don't know
use,
yet?
no, that's a good question. I would use either the 9 chakras or the 9 planets or both, because the 9 planets align with our 9 chakras,
Okay.
meaning including our soul star and our earth star.
I
So-
like that.
Yeah. So when I do that calendar, more likely it will include those, So good point of view to take. So any questions so far?
Yeah, I like what you said about being able to use this as a tool for ourselves. So could you show me? I got the 13 for tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
February 1st, 2026. I got a 13. What do I do with this 13?
You like, what I do is I write go through the whole number so you can see it for yourself. Like, go through the whole month is what I meant to say. So you can
Okay.
track it and see for yourself. And so you're gonna
Okay.
write, when you see the 13 though, put in parentheses, or however you want to do it, equals or parentheses. Remember that 13 is really a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I would say, what is the universal date number? What is the universal code number of that date? I would say it's 4. I wouldn't say it's 13. It would be 4.
No. Is that February 13th, or is that?
No, she's talking about what we just added up for the first. That
Okay.
equaled 13. Right, Gloria? Yeah. So now, if you look, just to show you a view of it, right? We can all do that together right now. Do the next day right underneath that. You're going to get 14. When you add the dates, you're going to get 14. 2, 2, which, by the way, is going to be the 2-2 portal. 2, 2, 2026 is going to equal 14, which means the next universal code is 5.
Got it. I got it.
Yeah, and then it's going to keep going till you get to the 9. So you're going to have 14. Let me see, 14, 15, 16, 17. Right? Am I right? 13? What did I say? Today?
15. What? The next day is gonna be
Yeah,
16.
13 is the 4, right?
13 is the 13 is the 4.
Mm-hmm.
14 is the
14,
5. 15 is
15,
the 6.
16, 17, 18. So all the way up to when it lands on the 18.
18 is gonna be the 9.
18 is going to be the 9. So when you count it up to when it adds up to 18, it's going to be the 9, right? And then when you count up the whole next day, it's going to equal what comes after 18 again? 18, 19?
That's it.
Okay, so the
Begin.
next day is going to equal 19, and 9 and 1 is 10, which is really a 1. So that's how it
Start
goes
over
back to the 1. You see?
Got it.
Yeah. So you'll see that pattern as you work through all of the numbers. It's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so I would call it, what did I call it again? I used to call it the infinite numbers of 9. I remember writing a whole poem about it when I realized it. And I called it something about 1 through 9. All the number 10 is 1 through 9 and back again.
Yeah.
That's what I
You
realized.
start
10,
again.
10 is 1 through 9 and back again. It's like 10 is the 0 point to start all over again after the birth of 9. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
it's the same cycle every time. And then there was someone who I watched, Mateus. I don't know if you all have ever heard of him. He's the man that had can remember all his past lives, and he really broke down the dimensions of time,
Mm-hmm.
and they go through 9. And I never forget him saying this. He said the dimensions only go through 9 and repeat itself again. So when people say, oh, the 11th dimension, the 12th dimension, it's not that they don't exist, but all it is starting again on another cycle. So it's 1 through 9. And then after 9, the 10th dimension is going to be the first of the next cycle. The 11th dimension is going to be the second of that next cycle, and so on, infinitely so. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost as if it reminds me, don't go too far.
Yeah, don't go too far. Just stay within the 9, because infinite is infinite. Like we could keep going and going. So it's just stay within your cycle. Stay within your cycle, but know that it is infinite and it keeps looping, and it's just helping you to keep a track and a point in time. It is like, from what I see it, it's like our timekeeping system within our soul, within the universe. Like it is what it is. It's a universal law of the infinite 9.
Yeah, don't go too far.
Don't go too far out, right? So
reminds me.
Mhm.
That reminds me just of the spiral.
Yes.
And even our emotional and our spiritual work, like how you think you're like, okay, I went through this cycle and I feel like I'm going to that next level, but then you feel like you kind of dip back down, but it's on that next spiral up.
Yes.
It goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And spiral.
To the next spiral, then you start back at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what the cycle is in the dimensions. It's exactly what you're saying. It's a cycle. So you go through the 9 dimensions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and you spiral up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just keep going. And this is the spiral that we're in. So that's the perfect word that you use to explain it.
Right. And it reminds me that don't get caught up in a circle. Because if you imagine that you're starting from the same point of 1 every single time, you're going to look at it as a circle. It's not a circle. It's a spiral.
It's a spiral.
So you may think you're experiencing the same thing, but you're not experiencing the same thing.
Right.
We just spiral out again and again. And that's why I said they got us in an infinite lock, because they have us looped in this circle in time. And so when we break out, which is one of the beautiful things I love about this calendar, for me, this calendar is the breakout. It helped me break out. Just discovering this calendar helped me break out. And so you come out of that infinite lock, and now you're in your spiral. Now you're in your spiral in time. right? So you're spiraling, you go through and you spiral up. You do your 360 and you spiral up. You now have unlocked something and you realize I'm not meant to be in a loop going in the same circle over and over again. I am meant to have a complete 360 and then spiral out.
Unfolding.
Birth out.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's her name said, with $3 and 6 dimes. Yeah, we supposed to birth out. Have your 360 and spiral out.
Mm-hmm.
Ashe?
Ashe.
All right. So, any questions? Any comments? So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Okay, so let's get into this calendar then, so that you got a little bit of backdrop. I always like to kind of give that so you kind of understand how it came about, how it came to being, and it really was just like a co-creation. I can't even lie and say I made this up. Like I can't take the credit. I can't be like, oh, I made this. It's the way it came. It was just a lesson for me, and I'm able to just be able to share it. I'm just the, what do you call it? The facilitator,
Mm-hmm.
the translator, or I'm the transcriber.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't even fully claim to be the author, because the way this came, it was like, I can't make this up. No, I just had to bear witness to this and
You were a vessel being used.
Being a vessel. Thank you, Ashe. So with that, let's go into, I'm going to see if I can turn the live around to see if you all can get a visual of the calendar. So let me turn it around. Okay, so right. Okay. Got some. I could be a little techie there. I could work with something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you might excuse my hand if it shakes some. But hi, we got fresh babies up in here. We got new life. That's okay. It's signing on with the calendar, the new beginnings that we're in. So seeing the calendar, as you can see, this is the cover of the calendar, and it was inspired as to be a return to Kemet, because we want to get as much to the origins of time as possible. And I am Kemetically inclined. I would say Mayan, but I don't have much. That's just not where I was carried. I'm pretty sure my ancient blood is Kemetic, because that's where I've been carried into the pyramids through meditation. So I just, honor what I know. And I used the name. So let me scroll down. So you can see where it says Asar, right? This picture, this is an image of Asar, the one in white. And Asar is one of the Kemetic gods. So instead of saying Aries, as you can see, it says Aries to the left. So I utilize these names so it's easy for us to understand. But Asar is essentially what I call the month, because I wanted to move away from the Greek name. So Aries is actually the first month. It is the beginning of spring, our spring equinox, and really this depends on where you are in the earth, because remember, this is going according to the northern hemisphere, where our spring is in March. So this may be different for people who are in the southern hemisphere. But this is mainly guided to the northern hemisphere is what I can speak of. This could also be why Ethiopia's New Year is in September, because I think they go, but what I've discovered is they're actually in the northern hemisphere, right?
Ethiopia, yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason they go by a southern hemisphere perspective. And so their New Year is in September.
Yeah, it's
which would be fall. Which would be their spring is fall for us, right? So that's just to kind of clear some of that up. But the return to Kemet is to return to the origins of names, because when we do that, little do we know we unlock certain codes in us. The more we return to the origins of language. For those of you who learn certain light language, some people's light language abilities are coming online, things like that. The more we use the original tongues, indigenous tongues, is the more that we open up light codes even more. And the more we strip away let's say the not the dogmas, but the doctrines or the the capturing, the programming, the more we strip away the programming that has been placed upon us.
The culture.
Exactly. So that's why I made an emphasis. So you can call it Aries or you can call it a SAR. Me putting it as a SAR is to put it into practice, to break away. So it's essentially a shift in time to shift us back into time and help us to find our true timeline, whatever that may be for you. So going into the first calendar, let's look at what that looks like. So you see the week, as we spoke about before. We already spoke about the week being the crown through the root. If you notice to the far right, everything in bold, I go by 5D. The smaller letters or smaller numbers are the 3D. But everything is here so that we can navigate through it. So if you're using this calendar and somebody's telling you a date that is in 3D and you have to make appointments that are still in the 3D time, we can still integrate. We can still, maneuver and navigate through them while being true to what we know. All right. And so you'll see 2017 because that's the year that we're in and what we started with. And underneath that, you'll see the Gregorian 2025. To the left, you'll see the month. Besides the Kemetic name of it in the middle, to the left, you'll see that, that's Aries. What is Aries? From March 20th to the 19th. So what that tells you, if you're reading this calendar, and let's say you need to look, March is right around the corner, right? Let's say y'all making some plans for next month, and you're looking for anything from March 20th to April 19th. That's what you're going to find on this page. So if it's early March, where do you think you're going to have to look?
February.
Yep. We're going to have to go to the back of the book because this is the beginning. And February, which really is considered Aquarius. So if Aries is the first month, Aquarius, sorry, Pisces. If Aries is the first month, then Pisces is the last, right? And if you can look that up, you can see it. They call it the astrological calendar. All astrologists know this, that Aries is the beginning and Pisces is the last. That's why they call Aries the first house. So knowing this is actually going to help a lot of you understand when you're reading a chart. When you hear them saying first house, second house, all of that stuff used to confuse me. But if I knew this, it would make it actually a little bit easier because you will just know that they're saying that's the first month. The first house is the first month. Second house, third house. So when y'all reading y'all natal chart and it's talking about the first house, this is what they're talking about. The first house is always Aries. Now, don't get that confused with when you're using your particular natal chart that goes by your rising sign as your personal first house, right? Aries is just like what would you call it? Like the official first house. But your personal houses go by your rising sign. Does that make sense? Everybody got that? Okay.
Yeah.
And I also look at the days as rooms in the house.
Yeah. In each house, there's these rooms.
Right. In each house, there's these rooms. Some houses have 29 rooms, like February may have 29, or not February. What's February again?
February has 28.
28 rooms. Some houses have 28 rooms. Some houses have 29 rooms. Some houses have 30 rooms. Most houses have 30 or 31 rooms, and so on and so forth.
Yes, it's like when you said that, what I got was my father's house has many mansions.
Right.
That's
right.
what I heard. So many rooms, many mansions. So in 1 month, we're looking here. So just to kind of see, if I have to scroll down, if we want to look at anything in early March, I'm going to have to go to the back of the calendar. Right? So if you're all looking for anything in early March, we're going to have to go all the way down to about right here. This is Nut. Nut is the last one. Pisces. So you see it right there. It says February 20th to March 19th. So if you're looking for something in Early March, it's going to be somewhere down here at the bottom. It's going to be in one of the last 2 weeks of Pisces. So that's how you kind of utilize it. Just in case you're looking and you're like, where is the front of March? You're going to have to go to the back of the book. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So going back up to Aries, let me zero in. So we see that the first day here is on spring. So you'll see in red in the calendar, you'll see we note certain things in there. So you'll see that you'll definitely see the equinox and the solstice because these are pivotal points throughout the year. These are seasonal points that are like they're like our quarterly markers that let us know where the seasons are and things like that. So spring equinox is our happy new year. That's the true new year is when everything springs back and comes back to life. Is there anything else there? And then you may notice we change holidays. So you may see things in red that speaks on particular holidays. Let me see. What does this one say on the 6th? What do you see on the 6th of Asar?
6th of Asar is honoring Empress Menen's birthday, the lamb.
Okay, so we sometimes have certain cultural importance, like Empress Menen is Selassie's wife. So we have stuff in there like I think we may have Malcolm X's birthday. You know, things that the regular calendar doesn't tend to highlight.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you go to Jeb, it's Malcolm X's birthday
on the 19th.
Which is the 19th
of May.
Mm-hmm.
So we may have some of those in there, but the main thing is to also point holidays to having an introspective look within your soul. So for example, let me go back to the back with Aquarius, because what usually happens in February, what holiday is in February, y'all?
Valentine's.
There we go. Valentine's. So we call that divine sacred union. Mm-hmm. So because what happens is on these holidays, they're harvesting our energy. So what we do is we harness what we need to harness, because it is a collective energy. Wherever the collective consciousness is, that is what's happening. And that's what powers our portals, where you see certain portals here, because that is where the collective consciousness is. So it gives it power. It gives it emphasis and power because of the minds of the collective consciousness. Now you see why it's so important for them to control our minds. Because if they can control our minds, they can control the time through our minds as well. So anyway, with that said, on this month here, we're in Anubis. This is actually where we are right now. This part that we're looking at, this is the month that we're in right now. And so as you can see, the year has changed. So you see,
that's interesting.
What?
They used to have a show on Nickelodeon called House of Anubis. I didn't know that was Aquarius, but
really?
Yeah.
I never. Now you're gonna make me look it up.
Kind of shows, but it made me want to go back and see, like, if I, it seems any different now because I'm a grown up now. But
yeah, look into it and see what it is, because it may definitely. What I can tell you is definitely they know something about the ancient Egyptian or what the Kemetic gods, because Anubis is the Kemetic god of it is. I'm going to show you the image. It's this one. If you ever see this image, this is Anubis.
Is that a dog head?
Yes, a jackal, right? It's considered a jackal. And the reason why they had these animals is not because their gods are animals. They represented certain things that they know that the animals would do. Because remember, these are ancient people that were very much in tune with the land and the animals in the land, and they watched what they would do. The jackals would prepare. What was it so great about them again? They would bury things.
Yeah, the jackal would store its food in the earth. So let's say it made a kill, or it discovered or uncovered a piece of meat or something. Mm-hmm. It would store it in the earth and know exactly when to remove it. So this is
Exactly.
the same thing when you go on the underworld, or what, as you see, it's kind of like a ceremonial
Preparing.
preparing. Um, Anubis knows exactly when you should come out.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And can you share with us the three things you spoke about: Set, Anubis,
Newt.
and Newt, and one is mastering, one is
Oh, the transition.
transition. Yes, because Anubis, it's very important.
Anubis is a very pivotal. We're in a
Yeah.
very pivotal moment right now, which is the transition. And this is really working even in alignment with Third Eye Atlas,
Mhm.
story for another day, but it really goes hand in hand. So as I'm pointing that out, keep that in mind that we are in the last 3 months with Third Eye Atlas on these 3 months right here. Set, which would be considered more January, Anubis, Set right here, right before it, then Anubis, and then Newt. This is when it's going to have its encounter with Jupiter, and when we're going to close out this 6-month window that it has been traveling, the ecliptic window along the ecliptic path. So kind of keep that in mind. There's something very important about these 3 months. If only the Gregorian calendar knew. If we know how to really read these 3 months as a transitional phase, which is the winter season.
Mm-hmm.
What we're looking at right now is the winter season. This is after the winter solstice. So if I go back to Set, Set begins on the winter solstice. Do you see where it says the first of Set, which is the first of Capricorn? Does everyone see that there? That's the winter solstice. So the winter solstice opens that up. That's why I say you're going to see the solstice and you're going to see the equinox, because they are pivotal points, and it opens up this particular season, and it begins with Set. So the 3 steps that he was talking about that I mentioned is awareness. So you may want to write that down, but these are the 3 steps. There are awareness, transition, and conclusion/mastery. So there's a mastery happening there in that conclusion. So Set is very important because Set is about what we become aware of in this particular month. That's what Set would look like. So if that's you may Set is the one who fought with Heru. So if you see this picture right here, that is Set and Heru, who was in war. So if you study the Kemetic mythology, they call it mythology, but it's really a divine explanation of what's happening in our consciousness. That's what these gods are really explaining. But that'll be a whole nother story on the gods. We'd have to do a whole nother workshop on Kemetic gods. But Set and Heru are the ones who were at war. Set is the one who dethroned Asar and dismembered Asar, and Set had to find the pieces. You may hear that story as Osiris, Isis, and Horus. That is the Greek names of the original Kemetic names of Asar, Aset, and Heru. So Set is what they call the god of the underworld, right? But it's not doom and gloom. It's really for you to understand and become aware of what you have made Lord of your underworld. It's the Set in you. So when we understand this consciously, we see how it's taking us through the transitions in our mind. So these.
Can you explain that further?
Which
a little
one?
bit? I guess I'm kind of confused. You said it's making you realize what are you making the god of your underworld? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like what have you made Lord of your world? Basically, it's called the underworld, and I've lately been calling it the underworld discharge. That's what a lot of us are going through right now. We're discharging all of this underworld foolishness. So when we think underworld, we think the Lord of hell, right? Like Set is the Lord of hell or doom and gloom. But it's really the things that we have. Set is here to bring to our awareness, right? In ways that we don't like. We may not like it, but it's of our own doing. It's the things that we have put on a pedestal in our mind that have become the gods of our own mind. And we won't relinquish it. And so it rules in our consciousness. It becomes the rule of your underworld, right? Because it's your hell. It's your pit, pretty much. But
Gotcha.
you get what I'm saying?
You've made it your
Yeah.
default.
Yes. So when we get into the month of Set, winter solstice, that's why the winter solstice is really important, because the winter solstice, huh?
Be intense, or it has been intense that I've noticed as of this year.
Yeah, this one
But
has
maybe
been.
it's like that forever. I don't know.
It's always been a cycle and an opportunity for us to notice, but you're right, it is definitely more intense, particularly this year. As I said, remember, parallel it to what's happening with the cosmic messenger third eye atlas. It's very intense because it is definitely upgrading our entire solar system. And that means everything and everyone on this, not just on this planet, every celestial body in this solar system, including the sun, has been upgraded. So the intensities of the frequencies are definitely picking up. So it's given us an opportunity to really, really look at the set of our lives. Where have we been set tripping? You know, set comes to bring awareness. But I know, right? That's how I was like, man, all this time we've been saying you set tripping, and it really means something in our consciousness. We have been
consciously onto something.
Exactly. We have been set tripping. So it's for us to find the dismembered pieces. It's a whole cycle. And Sister Myra speaks of this cycle, but not in this way. Like, I haven't heard her talk about it in connection to the Kemetic gods, but she speaks of this what do you call it? Like this evolutionary cycle through the cosmos, through the astrology of time. She speaks through, it's like you're pretty much moving through this um first 6 months, I believe she said, is very, very physical. From Aries all the way to Virgo is very, very physical, and it's looking for elevation from your lowest, your very, very physical point to your more highly evolved physical point. And then the last 6 months from, what is it, Ma'at?
Ma'at to Nut.
Ma'at begins the next half, right?
Libra.
The Libra. Libra is the fall equinox, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from Libra all the way over to Nut, the next 6 months, this whole half is your spiritual side, or there's an evolutionary aspect happening through your spiritual side all the way to Nut. Nut being the highest spiritual. It's the spiritual. So you enter back into that. And so right before you get into Nut, look what we go through these 3 months. We go through the underworld, because now there's a death. Like, something has to really be, put to the underworld. And then here's the transition, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go through Anubis, who prepares us, prepares the body to just wrap it up. It's done with. You're going into your highest spiritual point, and then bam, you're in Nut, back into the Nut. And for those who don't know what the Nut is, that's when they talk about that Milky Way part of this galaxy, or whenever you see images like this is the Nut. Or Sister Myra might call her Mama Universe.
Mm-hmm.
The galactic center, that's way at the galactic center, that's our Nut. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody understand the Nut of time? And so it's a whole evolutionary process. So this is not just a calendar. Like, this is helping you to really move through this astrological evolution in your mind, through your consciousness, through the dimensions in your mind, and shifting through time. The way we shift through time is the way we shift through our mind. Ashe? Any questions thus far?
I give you a lot of credit for putting this together.
Yes,
it's really technical.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. It took a lot. I just remember saying I want to go to the original names, and then the whole Kemetic, thing just came right in, and it does help you tap into your consciousness. So definitely, I'm happy to be able to be the vessel to pull it through. I'm excited when I get to look at it, and so finding the numbers is one thing. What is another part we'd like to look at it? So any questions or at this point, so I could go to a next part? All right, good. So we can go to the moon. Let's look at, you'll definitely see the moon. The things that are in this calendar is everything that's going to help us, transit through time. And I'm not saying everything like it's the end all be all. There's always more. That's why I asked you to explore. Look at what you see, because there's always going to be more. You're going to find your own portals. So with that said, portals. Portals are where in the Gregorian calendar, wherever they have any what is it, 2-2 portal, 3-3, like things like that. And every month you're gonna find that.
Mhm.
In January, it's the Gregorian calendar's 1-1 portal. The vortex is going to be from, okay, so when you see, let me see if I can I zoom in? See if I can show you. Let's look at January since we just entered into January. Is there a zoom in on here?
I think maybe you'd have to download it to zoom in.
Okay, no, let me not mess with anything while we're on here. Okay, so I'll just point it out. So let's see if there's a vortex here. 22nd. Okay, on the 1st. There it is. So if you look at Set and you see where it says 11 at in that box, I kind of have the cursor on it. That is the 1st of January. And so the 1st of January, you're going to see, let's see what's what. So when you see these little stars right here, these stars are just reminding you that there is a workshop. Because was that a workshop?
Yeah, that's a workshop.
Because it's 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Workshop.
So that's highlighting that there was a workshop. What is the, the moon. Okay, wherever you see the full moon, you'll see that workshop. So the workshop, for those of you who know, is where I have the quarterly divine chakra moon workshop. So I definitely put that in the calendar so that in case anybody wants to, know when it comes up, it's in the calendar. Where you see those stars, that's where there will be a workshop. So the full moon was on the 3rd, right? The 3rd of January. So you're going to see 3 stars before that. 1, 2, 3. And then on the 3rd is the 4th star on the full moon. And you're going to see 3 days after that, because the workshop consists of 7 days, starting from the root going up to the crown. So those are those stars. So in case you see that throughout the calendar and you're like, what are these stars? The stars are an indication that we got a workshop coming up. All right. Next is, if you look at that same day, go back to that, day 1 of January, you'll see 2 little green circles. One is showing you that it opens a vortex. It's the 1st of January. So according to their calendar, it's a 1-1 portal. And so the portal is opening a vortex from the 1st to the 10th. So if you look at the 10th, which will be the little number 10, remember the 10th of January is going to be written in little numbers. So if you look at the little number 10, do you see that it closes that vortex? Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll see the little dot, and if you see the little words under it, I make sure I put the words under it that says ending vortex. So one says open vortex, one says ending.
One says closed.
Oh, closing. It says closed.
Closed vortex.
Okay, closed vortex. All right, so everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the portal is usually just the day that opens it. And then, you'll see vortex open, vortex close. And if you count, is there another one? You see another 1-1? Is that another?
Well, yeah, on the 1st is a 1-1, and on the 10th, it's also a 1-1. portal.
Oh, because of the 10.
Right.
Okay.
So this says 1-1 portal. This says open vortex.
Mm-hmm.
This one says
Close.
1-1 portal, closed vortex.
Yes. And the reason why it's a 1-1 portal again is because of the number 10. And that 10 is really a 1. So it's like you're seeing the repetition. Whenever you see the repetition of numbers, that is look for those to be portals. Repeating numbers or palindrome numbers. When you see a series of numbers that are in a palindrome, which are basically mirrored numbers that look like, it may look like 5, 3, 2, 3, 5. And you can see the mirror effect in that. There's a number in the middle that pivots the return back to that number. So the 5, the 3, then the 2 is in the middle, and then you see the 3 and 5 again. So that's what it kind of has this mirror effect to those series of numbers. And so whenever you see something like that, whether it's a long set of numbers or a short set of numbers, it's a palindrome. And so that's usually how you would find portals, if it repeats itself or if it's palindrome. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're looking, if you see any, I don't have them all in here. You may see something and be like, hey, mark it in your calendar. You see that palindrome pattern, or you see something repetitive. You can mark that in the calendar and you'll see that that's another portal. Right? Or however spirit guides you. There are more portals in there. These are just the portals that I can see and that I can share. All right. Any questions about the portals? Everybody got it? All right. So anything else? And you'll see before that I included Kwanzaa, because like I said, anything cultural, I put it in there, not because Kwanzaa is a holiday, but because Kwanzaa represents 7 principles that also can help us in, I want to say, in disciplining ourselves and following certain disciplines. And it helps us in creating, being a part of the 7 steps in the creative process. These principles are also a part of a creative process. So you'll see Kwanzaa thrown in there as well.
And like on the 25th, we have that happy sun rising.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Thank you for pointing that out. One of the holidays that are the most distracting. We leave it there because, again, this is how we harness that energy. It goes with the winter solstice. As you see, the winter solstice is about 3 days before that. So 1, 2, 3. The winter solstice is about the sun dying, and then it rises in 3 days because the solstice is being still. So when it rises, this is the sun rising. This is the going forth of the sun. And that's really what we're celebrating in an introspective look into our souls, in our minds. What sun in you is rising? So you see how we take these days, the holidays, and we point back into ourselves. This is a day of sun rising. So on the winter solstice, you may be having an ego death moment. It's giving us the opportunity to put down what we need to put down. Again, look at it being in the month of Set. Put down those things that we may have been harping on, or we may have been building ourselves upon, maybe some illusions, whatever it is. Put that ego down and allow for a great humility. Right? A type of ego death that allows you to recycle, or as we've been saying, to spiral in your soul.
Be aware, as you said.
Be aware.
As you said, with those 3 characters of the season, of those seasons. Be aware. It's like when I hear you speak, what it's saying to me is that on winter solstice, in the winter solstice, tune your awareness that there's going to be some ego deaths. You should be having some ego deaths this winter season, this awareness season, as you go into the transitioning season, as you go into the mastering season.
Be prepared. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, because
be prepared.
If you don't do this, right, if you don't do this, then come springtime, you're going to be reaping the lack of your awareness. You're going to be set tripping so to
Mhm.
speak.
You're going to be sowing.
Sowing.
Yeah, you're in a lack. Yeah,
exactly.
because the spring is where we begin again.
Mhm.
So you're going to begin again, which is what a lot of people are going to
Yes.
see happening with this Neptune entering into Aries. You're going to begin again, and you're going to think you have new dreams. But if it is to the extent that you have released the underworld in you,
Mhm.
it is to the extent that you have had that ego death and let go those illusions that are going to take you into those new expansions. So the spring brings that forward. Aries represents that new
Mhm.
beginning, new cycle, spring forth. So if you don't take the time to have that winter, quote unquote, winter experience, to have that set be put down so that Anubis can help with the transition,
Mhm.
so that you can be rebirthed into the newt,
Into the new
through the newt, to come into starting again into the newness of Asar,
a
right?
new culture.
In a new spiraling out. So
Mhm.
that's the way to kind of, I'm giving it to you in a way where as we're going through this calendar, we're seeing how we integrate it in our soul. Ashe, any questions thus far? So what else is to look at? Anybody see anything else on there? Like, because some of you may have been looking through there. What are some things that's popped out to you that you maybe had a question about? Like, well, what is this? What does this mean? Let me see if I see anything else.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
The harmony of duality portal.
Oh, where is that? What date is that on?
That's
the 25th of Anubis.
Anubis, 25th.
That's the divine sacred.
Okay. Okay, I had a feeling I was gonna say, why that sound like Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Cause it is. the 25th. If you look beneath, it is the 14th. The little number, so it's in the 3D. That's the 14th. So that's their Valentine's Day. So instead of letting them harvest our energy for that, we harness the truth of our soul, which is to do what? Have a divine balance. On Valentine's, everybody's looking for love. Well, what if we go inside our soul and we find that divine sacred union within is the love within us?
I like that.
And it's the truth. It's not even to try to make you feel like, this is the truth. And when you find that love within you, there's a divine matrimony in you that sets a whole nother vibration out in the atmosphere, and you won't even have to look for love. Like, you're just going to attract the right counterpart, whatever that may be for you. You're going to attract what love. It may not even be a person. It may be that you found such harmony within yourself that you found something in the universe that satisfies your soul and brings completion to your divine sacred union in you, which is a harmony of duality type of portal. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. So the harmony of duality is really the number 2. So if you see me say that, some of you may see me put that sometimes in our group. Whenever I see a number, like let's say if I see the number 212, and I'd put it in and I'd say unification within harmony of duality. Or I might see a number that says 424. What's that? 424?
Mm-hmm.
It might be 424, and then I put that in 424. And I would say harmony of duality within the foundational balance. So harmony of duality is another way of saying, the second dimension, or what the number 2 represents as the second dimension. Because when we have that harmony of duality, then the next dimension, which would be the third, is that we create. Harmony of duality brings about creation automatically. You don't have to try to create anything when you harmonize your duality. There is going to be a creation. That's the law. And that creative completion is the number 3. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It does. I like that.
Yes, and that 3, that creative completion 3 is actually the first dimensional, the main dimensional portal. So when y'all hear 369, 3 is the first dimensional portal. Creation, creative completion.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
What?
When you say it's the first dimensional portal, because there's 1 dimension
Mm-hmm.
and there's 2 dimension, and then here comes 3 dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain when you say it is the first dimensional portal, that word dimensional?
It's because it's through the dimensions, like what we talked about, the 9 dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the 9 dimensions, and you have 1 through 9, obviously, but then you have the 3, 6, 9. So why I say it's the first, because it is the first in the 3, 6, 9. The 6 would be the second dimensional portal. So it's really like, it's like these main portals, right? Each dimension is a portal in and of itself, right? But these are like main portals. It's as if you can call it like a main artery.
Okay. This is how I'm seeing it in my scope.
Mm-hmm.
That you have 1 dimension, you have 2 dimensions. The 2 dimension is harmony of duality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harmonizing the first and the second. The 3rd dimension has to harmonize the first and the second and the 3rd.
The 3rd dimension.
So it's creating.
It is creation.
It is creation.
Because it doesn't have to harmonize, because the harmony of duality harmonized
Okay.
So by the time you get to the 3rd dimension is the creation of this harmony of duality. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And as you say that, it's we say 3D, and there's an aspect of us, or let me put it on myself, an aspect of myself in 3D. And I'm seeing where it's possible that I'm saying there's an aspect of myself in 3D, when possibly that aspect of myself that I'm saying is in 3D is not even in 3D in my consciousness. It could be lower than 3D because it hasn't been in the awareness of its created state in myself. And it seems as if I would be less, or I would, in my awareness, I would be less than 3D, if that makes sense.
You in your awareness.
In my awareness,
because we are all, and we are all the dimensions. All the dimensions are within us. It just depends on what dimension we have accessed, and at what level, at what degree. How do I say it? Because there's the over soul, that what Sister Myra usually calls the holistic soul. So your holistic soul may be a 3-dimensional being. You may just, be there, but there's other things in your life, like, how do I say that? It can be like the seconds of your life, right? Second, like, how you have seconds and minutes and so forth.
Yeah.
So let's say the hour, let's call the hour the holistic part. The hour of your soul, the holistic part may be a 3-dimensional soul. But then within this hour, you got minutes and you got seconds. So within these minutes, you may have other dimensions within you. You may be at other dimensional points within the minutes and seconds of your soul. Faithfully, I'm not confusing you, but that you may be like 7, you may be like 6, 7 dimension at the seconds level of another part of your soul, but your overall holistic soul may be at 3 dimension.
Right. So not because you're not aware of the minutes doesn't mean that you're not at an hour.
Yeah. Or don't dismiss either or. Don't dismiss the minutes because you're only looking at the hour, the over. So that this is what we saw. This is the levels within levels of worlds within worlds. So you can't really look at it one-dimensionally, right? So to speak. So that's what I mean by, so to keep it, simple, the 3rd dimension, to return to that question, is just the main portal because of the 369.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the third dimension. That's the creative completion. And the second main one would be the 6, which is receptive completion. The third main one would be the 9, which is the spiritual completion. And that's why they're main points. If you see it, it's like plus 3 more, plus 3 more. So the 3, those points right there, the completion is what makes it main.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have 1, 2, 3, creative completion. 4, 5, 6, receptive completion. 7, 8, 9, spiritual completion. So those main points are completion points. Does that make sense?
Say it one more time, please. I need to write that.
Oh,
It
okay.
reminds me of the activity you had us do last year, well, earlier this year.
Oh.
I think it was in June.
In June? Okay, hold on. Before I get, let me repeat this for him. Hold that thought right there. Don't lose it, Nafisa. What is it you wanted me to repeat, Miss Gloria?
The 3, 6, 9. I know that 9 is completion. What was the 3 and the 6?
Oh, okay. The 3 is creative completion. The 6 is receptive completion.
Okay.
And then the 9, oh, you had the 9. Okay, good.
Spiritual completion.
Yeah, she had the 9 already. So, but just in case someone else needed it, it's the spiritual completion. So those completion points are what makes the potency of this 3, 6, 9. When people see 3, 6, 9, it's because they're like these main completion points within the dimensions of time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How do you know when you completed them?
Oh.
Just when you want a different timeline?
No, it's not just timeline, but timelines are a part of it too. It's certain experiences that you're going through, and you can feel when you shift, and sometimes life have a way of showing you this is a wrap. This is a spiritual completion. Like this year, you see how everybody say, man, this year really tore us up. Universal year of 9. Like
Every which label.
It was wrapping up some things. So that year is saying to you, this is a spiritual completion. The things that are going to happen to really shift you out of this entire, it's time for a next dimensional level. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be at that dimensional level. It just means that what's happening overall in life, this is what's guiding us. We are completing something. We are at a point where it's time to wrap it up, to complete. But not everybody receives the completion, and some people, fall back into one of the loops or something like that.
Interesting. That's actually kind of scary.
Right? She's like, interesting, but that's kind of scary. Like,
it is. I believe it is very scary. I go through it a lot, and I have seen where I have been stuck in a circle for several years, and it's disheartening. But it is also a matter of facing the truth of your awareness and getting out of that stuck state. Because you will repeat something, you will fool yourself.
It'll keep repeating
over and over again.
And for some people, like while you said this is so intense, Zaya, it is intense because for some people, this is it. If you have not gotten it in this lifetime, depending on what soul you at, what level you at, some souls may not be able to reincarnate back, because this is a 5th dimensional planet. And if you have not elevated or evolved to at least a 4th dimensional soul, the holistic soul, you may not be able to incarnate back into this particular world. Doesn't mean there isn't other worlds to do your soul work, but they won't be able to do that here because the level on the planet has sped up. So
I don't know why you saying that made me think. It's been a lot of celebrities like passing away lately, and I was like, dang, maybe it's like because the universe is trying to make way for new, like more more spiritually influential celebrities to be in their like spot. Not really celebrities. Celebrities is kind of a nasty word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Leaders.
that are better influences on the world. Not saying that they were bad people or nothing, but
Yeah, better
But I
influences.
noticed that, and I was wondering. I was thinking that, but anyways, it just made me think of that when you said that some people won't be able to reincarnate again.
Yeah. And to answer a part of that too, and I just don't worry, Nafisa, I got you. I just like, oh snap, let me get back to Nafisa. The to add to that, they're also cycling out. I call it loop. Some of the people that you may see, a lot of people passing away now, a lot of them are looping out so that they can hurry up and come back before there's an actual seal for whatever that seals look like. I can't tell you I know what this seal looks like, but I have gotten confirmation from actually someone who has crossed over. It was like, yeah, they're trying to come back quickly because at some point they know they won't. So some souls, if they haven't made it to where they have arranged in their spiritual, course to be at a particular point at this juncture in life, a lot of them have opted to loop out during certain purge points. The purge points are where you see a lot of people passing. So they opt to loop out so they can hurry up and come back before there's an actual seal. Does that make sense?
That's I want to say the same thing again. That's interesting, but it's kind of scary to think about. Like if you think about it too deeply,
yeah,
yeah, you could.
Yeah, she's like that could be, yeah, but that's it's good, and nothing is really bad. It's just a matter of the choices we make and the roads and the paths that we take, and you're never blocked out of life. That's why they say there's never no dam to hell or anything like that. Even if you can't come back to this planet, this is a universe of universes. There are other worlds. It's just that you've timed out of being able to come in because the planet has evolved and you haven't evolved with the planet. Does that make sense?
Well, shoot, I hope I do so much work, so much good work this lifetime that the next one I'm gonna be working in the library or something. I'm gonna be working for the universe,
Yeah. She's like, I want to be with the Akashic records and the books of life. You are the book of life, and I feel like all of us here, if you ain't here by no accident. So I already know anybody that's here, you're already moving through time in a certain way that you're catching the shift and the drift in time. So I don't think anybody of us here, there's no way we could be at this level right now, and in this awareness and working in this manner. It's no way. Like you're at some point. We may be at different levels, but I don't think any of us here are getting locked out, if that makes sense. Unless you choose to be locked out, So, but thank you for that. Nafisa, what were you saying about something that happened in June? Something that you were saying it reminded you of something in June?
It reminded me. I posted it in. I put it in the chat.
In the chat, okay.
Yeah.
See if I can.
The activity you had us do.
Mm-hmm.
The first set of 3 and the second set of 3 and the third set of 3. That's what it reminded me of. What you were explaining.
Okay. Yes. Exactly. It goes right with that. I get what you're saying. So the first set of 3. I remember. I wish I had my. I know what you're talking about, but I have to look at my folder to see it because I was writing it down in my folder. But yes, I had to go back to mine too to pull it up. it goes exactly with that, and that's the order of everything. That's why things are in sets of 3s. There's always a conclusion. An introduction, a body, which the body is always the transitional point, and then a conclusion, which is mastery. So you're always going to see, things in 3s, 3 phases. Even just look at even water. There's 3 states of water: solid, liquid, gas. Yes. Solid, liquid, gas. Solid is the most physical form, the lowest form, what they would call the lowest, the most physical form. Then it's liquid. Liquid is the transitional state of water The water, the liquid itself is a transitional state of H2O moving from its solid into its gas, right? It moves fluidly through the water, and then all of a sudden it's gas. It's in its third state, which is in its most invisible state, in its most spiritual state, where ice would be the most physical, gas would be the most spiritual, and water being that transitional pivotal point would be the bridge. And as I'm saying it to you and I'm seeing the chakras, I'm like, the most physical is the root. That's ice. The most spiritual is the crown. That's the gas. The transitional phase part is in the middle. That's the heart.
The heart.
There you go. You got it. See, you saw what I was seeing.
Yeah. Picking up what she putting down.
Yeah, she picking it up. You got it. It's the heart. See, and this is why I like when we move through our minds like this, because you see it everywhere. It's not just in one topic. It's not just about this calendar. We can see evidence of this moving through our consciousness, moving through states of matter, of physical matter. We can see it. Ashe?
Ashe.
Oh, don't this calendar just seem that much more fun? All right.
I like it. I really do.
Thank you. We're welcome. All right. What is it about the numbers? Let's say, is there anything about the numbers that confuses anybody? Are the numbers easy to read?
I think they are.
Now that you've explained them.
Huh? Now that I've explained it.
Yeah, and then the numbers in red are usually a holiday. It's always a holiday. What they call holidays are holy days.
Holy days. Okay, like the 14th right here is in red. So you can be mindful of how you want to harness your energy rather than to have them harvest your energy. That's what we're flipping in this calendar. So I always say it's not to substitute. Like a lot of nowadays, you see people substituting holidays. Oh, I don't do Thanksgiving. I do Friendsgiving. You know, I'm not trying to, substitute any holiday. What I want us to do is to transcend it, to convert it, to move away from the captivity of the harvesting, to get out of the harvesting and take it internally, introspectively, so that you can harness what is for you through this collective energy, because we can't deny. I was going to not put holidays in here at all, but Spirit was saying to me, no, these days are the collective consciousness puts so much power into it. We can't ignore the days. We could say, I don't celebrate this holiday. That doesn't mean that the day is not harvesting or harnessing energy, because where attention goes, energy shows, and the result shows. Right? Did I say that right? Where attention goes, energy flows, and the result shows. So where there is attention, everybody is putting their attention into these holidays. So there is collective energy that is flowing potently, intensively. We make that energy.
So what are they doing with energy though? Like
the people that are harvesting it, they harvest it for multiple reasons. They're harvesting your energy to for one, drain you from it. They harvest you to take it from you, so you don't know your own greatness. Look at what we just looked at on the 25th of with it being Christmas. When everybody's so busy focusing on buying gifts and doing all of this stuff, they are doing a major harvesting and taking your energy from you so that you don't focus on something mind you, our ancestors have been doing this on the 25th, and it had nothing to do with gifts and all of this stuff that we running up around and doing. They take your attention off of connecting to the ethers, connecting into your soul for what you are meant to do during the winter solstice. So when they take that from you, when they drain that from you, then what do? You're drained. They harvest and take from you. And then they use it to also boost them. So there's multiple things. One of the things is to drain you and keep you distracted and keep you from spiraling up, as we were talking about. Because if you, every time you do that, you deny your spiral.
Yep.
Every time. And when I look at it, I'm not trying to put this on anybody. I'm talking for me. When I saw that, I looked at the amount of years that I have denied my spiraling up and out. The years that I have denied my own cosmic upgrade that comes naturally from the ethers, from the stars. We are our own antennas. We are our own receptors of this light energy and information that is coming into the planet. We are conduits of this light, but we refuse it. We reject it. We turn it away from us when we allow them to harvest us and take our attention and our energy and invest it into something else that is not a part of our upgrade and our downloads. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it's crazy because they do it in multiple ways. They do it with like regular, just collective energy, with your money, you know, your time.
Exactly.
A lot of different ways.
And they got a holiday for every month. Every month. By the time, every time y'all turn from a big holiday to even the smallest little holiday, March is St. Patrick's Day. That ain't one of the big holidays, but it's still enough to get people's attention a little bit.
Buying stuff from it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because every year my people be like, "Oh yeah, you know, we're not celebrating Christmas this year. We're not gonna buy nothing," and then they still end up buying something. It's almost like programming.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even when they say they're not, it's so
they can't help
better
it
than them that they still do, even though they done already say they're not going to. Every year I'd be confused because they be like, "We're not doing it," and they do it anyway.
And then here comes some gifts.
But do you know how they get you into the mood? I've heard people say it don't feel like Christmas, but they keep listening to the music. They have the smells and all the things they do to get people in a certain mindset.
Yeah.
I watched that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to
That's a fact. They use the senses.
Yeah. The music and the smells. And people sometimes force themselves, or they become depressed because they expect certain things. You know, they have put out these certain things you're supposed to get. The expectations, and when the expectations aren't met, they feel less than or not worthy. But when you were talking about the energy and asking what do they do with the energy, it made me think about that movie Monsters. Remember that animation?
Yes.
Cartoon movie?
Monsters Inc. or something?
And they would literally take the children's energy, right? Scare them. And they're always on the news. They're always scaring us. There's always something horrible happening that you can't do absolutely anything about. But you spend time thinking about that stuff. That's taking your energy. Worrying about whether you're going to get your food stamps is taking your energy. The price of food's going up. Firing people.
All of that.
All kinds of stuff.
I like that.
Everything is always a threat,
you
every
can't
which
even
way.
Think about the stuff that is important. You can't even go inside to do your work because you're so busy on this outside, being distracted. But if you could just get yourself a few moments.
Yep. And now they got political scares. They got, like, what's the main thing you see now? ICE. They got a lot of immigrants running around here. And I should know, speaking as a Jamaican descendants, the things that I hear, like, you have people right now scared. Like, I just heard what they said. They wanted to have a family reunion. My grandmother and them, they wanted to have a family reunion, but she got to cancel it because, you know, everybody's Jamaican and everybody said they're staying put until Trump leave office because everybody's scared of ICE or getting picked up or something. Like, they put the fear in all the immigrants in this nation. They are afraid of being in certain places and traveling, and they don't want to get caught up.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because they're taking people in without any questions. It doesn't have to be any proper protocol. They're killing people, and it's like they're just being nasty, the nasty people that they are.
Yeah, Ashe, they're the monsters. So as you said, all of these things they're doing is extracting and harvesting. So they're taking your stuff and they're they're using your energy. This is another energetic part of it, like what Gloria was saying. When they harvest it, they take that energy and they fuel their rituals. They have their own dark rituals behind closed doors. They make everybody feel bad about doing their religious rituals like voodoo, that they call it voodoo, our African spirituality. They make us feel bad and they make us turn on each other too. Your own people turn on you and tell you, oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. And they make it seem like they so holier than thou. And they harvest all of what they're taking from you. And in their dark little rooms, they do these blood rituals. They do things, and they do it on specific days like this. Because wherever there is a lot of energy, there's energy in the atmosphere. And so they utilize that atmospheric energy to do their own rotten deeds, whatever agendas and things they have, because it powers them. So they harvest it and take it, and they have their own. This is why they have certain things on certain days, like 9/11.
Yeah.
There's no coincidence. 9/11. They know why they do the things that they do, and they know why they use certain.
New Year.
That's Ethiopia's New Year, 9/11.
Yeah, and when they want energy, they go and kill a black person.
Yeah.
Now they're killing the white people.
You see it now, right?
They really don't care what color you are.
Anything, because they're so desperate now. They're getting so desperate to provoke what do you call it? Fear. It's all,
and a lot of people are waking up. They're not getting the feedback they want.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they are very desperate.
So desperate. And you see, even as we were talking about the holidays this year, they were, if you notice, I don't know how many of y'all noticed, but a lot of people were saying, as much as they were trying to keep it moving and act like everything's good, a lot of people were saying it just didn't feel the same. A lot of people were crying, like from the lady that I saw crying on Thanksgiving that she done cooked a whole bunch of food and nobody came. It went viral.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was so sad.
She was like, and nobody came. And this was like such a cry out. Like when I saw that, I was like, this is such a cry out and a prominent thing. Remember, we are in a universal year of 9 for the 3D people specifically. So this is to tell you, while you're crying about this, ma'am, and she's not just crying for her, she's crying for everybody that saw this. There's a hurt in everybody, because what needed to happen is it was time for us to realize in this hurt that it's not worth it, to stop investing in these holidays, to stop doing what? Compromising yourself. That's what she did. She made all this food and nobody showed up. There's a message in that. Like, who are you laying all of this out for? Like, it's a whole message in that. But the major thing I saw was this is a cry out, and for people to see that this is not the same. It's for you to see that Thanksgiving is not what it is. That holiday is not what it is. And now you're seeing through your own hurt why it is not what it is. And she ended up packaging up that food and giving it to the homeless.
Which is what that's probably they needed it more than anybody.
Exactly. So we just saw in many ways, you know, Christmas came around, the same thing. I saw a lot of videos where people were complaining about something, like just, and you know, went all out for their kids, and then some kids didn't even care. Like it was a wake-up call. People were getting their wake-up calls, and then they were blasting it on social media so that other people can bear witness to these wake-up calls, if that makes sense. So
it does.
Yeah, the timelines are shifting. So now it's time for us to utilize it. So these 3 months here are very critical. Anubis, and from Set to Anubis and into our last month here. So we're going to see a lot happening. The next workshop, as you can see, you see some stars right there. So the next workshop is going to be with the next full moon on the not this full moon tomorrow, but the next the ecliptic full moon is going to be on the 3rd of March, which is going to be on the 12th. As you can see, the 12th of Nut. And these days, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but each day is a degree. So when you see the first, when you see the first of Newt, it is the first degree. And the second day is the second degree. These degrees are days. So even this will also help you when you're hearing certain things astrologically and you hear them say, oh, this many degrees right now. If you look at the sun right now, today we're at what, the 30. Let me go back to what today is. Right now we're at the 31st. It's 11 degrees. So when I say it's the 11-11 portal, it's the 11th day of Aquarius. If you check, you should see that it would say 11 degrees. It may almost be 12 degrees right about now or something, but it should be at 11 degrees. So if any of you look at Time Passage, let me see if I have my Time Passage app. If you look at your Time Passage, or you could look up whatever you got online and you look at the degrees of where the sun is right now, because we're in Aquarius by the sun, by the solar perspective, we're in Aquarius. And I see, yep, see, I was right. Just about 12 degrees. It should be, if it's 12 degrees, it should be in the early 12 degrees. Let me see. Not now. Get off my phone. Yep, 12. Oh, 12. Look at that. 12. 12 degrees at 12 minutes. You know how they also say 12 minutes and something seconds. So it's like literally just hit 12 degrees. So all day today, earlier today, it's been roughly about 11 degrees.
So the minutes there is a 12 hour?
It may be. I'd have to look more into that because I don't usually listen to them when they're saying
minutes and
12 degrees at 12 minutes and 45. Like that's even deeper. I don't follow it that deep. But if you're looking at Time Passages, I don't know who has theirs open, but you'll see it says 12 degrees Aquarius, and then behind it, you'll see 12 and a 28.
I have mine open and I see it.
You see the 12?
Yeah, I never understood these degrees, and when you just compared it to the days, I'm on a roll now.
Right? See, when she's like, I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Can't tell me nothing.
Makes sense, right?
So that's the same way I was when I realized the degrees, because I'm watching the way the sun move. I'm watching when it say this amount of day, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, the degrees are the days. It takes us 30 days to go through each house because it's each day that it's really the earth,
and
y'all. They say the sun. They'll say the sun is in Aquarius, but it's really the earth. Because think about it. The sun is not moving. It is us that is moving around the sun. So it's the earth's position at a solar perspective. So when you hear them say the sun is in Aquarius, that is the earth's position at a solar perspective. And the earth is at 11 degrees of Aquarius through the solar perspective.
And look at it again. It's a 3. It's 12 degrees, 12 minutes. 12 degrees, 12 minutes, 30.
You're seeing a 3-3.
Yeah, it's a 3 again. If you look at it.
So if for those who are into the numerology, this will also be a powerful gate to do anything that has to do with creative completion. If you're working with the number 3. Like that's how you kind of look at numbers sometime, and utilizing numbers as portals, finding certain portals to do certain things. These numbers speak to us.
What's the other thing? So you have degrees, minutes, and what's the other one?
That's what I said I got to look into more, because I never really pay attention. I just look at the degrees, y'all. That's a deeper aspect I got to go deeper into. But what I can look at as I'm seeing this, because it says 12 degrees and 12, whatever that is behind it, let's just say I'll call it 12 minutes, right? Because I see 12 degrees and 12 minutes, it tells me that it pretty much just entered into 12 degrees. Because those go all the way up to, I think 60. It's like minutes, because sometimes it'll say 12 degrees and 54, or 45. Like those numbers will go kind of high up to about 60.
Up to 60.
I'm gonna watch it and see. I haven't seen it gone over 50 something. And then by the time I look again, it started a new cycle. So it'll go into 13 degrees and then it'll start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the tick of the talk of the cosmic clock,
Yeah.
y'all. That's what I call it. These are the minutes and seconds, and then the degrees would be the days. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the degrees are the days. I definitely get that.
All right. So when you look at it, so now that should put a different perspective when you're looking at the calendar and you're looking at how we're looking at Anubis now, and it's saying, oh, the first day of Anubis. And if you hear a forecast, you may hear them say the sun is at about 1 degree Aquarius. That tells you we just entered into the new month of Aquarius. All right. So with that helps you find this also. This is the neat.
And where do you say? I've never heard of that. So where do you say they talk about like it like in that way the most? Mostly astrologers.
Yeah, like if you listen to an astrology forecast, and you'll hear them, they'll be talking about the degrees and the sun is at 4 degrees, and it's like, oh, okay, that means we on the 4th day. Like I was even looking into it more, because although I just started using the calendar even that much more, so it kind of dawned on me, particularly this month, and they were saying something about 4 degrees, the sun is at 4 degrees, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because it's the 4th day of Anubis. So I was actually able to follow along the calendar by listening to the astrological forecast. It confirms and it helps me even more to follow along easier in the calendar.
Yeah.
You inspired me. I'm about to start listening to that joint.
Yeah.
Astrological forecast. I've never listened to it that way.
Yeah. Any of the sometimes I put them in the group. Molly McCoy, she's one of the major ones I listen to. Tanya Gabrielle, because she also incorporates numbers. I often, whenever I want to tune up my numbers, listening to my numbers, I may listen to her because she catches numerology codes along with the astrological forecasts. So if you listen to her, she kind of helps that out as well. Or anybody that just resonates, if they stand out to you and you kind of listen to their forecast, when you hear them say the sun is at such and such degrees, you can look at your calendar and be like, oh, okay, that's like when they said the sun, like new moon. New moon is easy because wherever the moon is, so is the sun. So we just had a new moon at 28 degrees. So the new moon, if you look at Anubis, where's 28? Boom, boom, boom. You see the new moon should be somewhere around there. It was 28 degrees of, was it Aquarius? No, it was Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Okay, I got to go back to Capricorn then. I'm like, wait, something looks off here. So let me roll up to Capricorn. Roll up. Yep, right there on the 18th. Look, as soon as I turned it, I saw it. So if you look at the bottom, the last week in Set, you see that moon, that pink moon?
Mm-hmm.
That was the new moon, and it was on the 18th, and that was the 28th. And if you listen to the forecast, y'all could pull it up when you get off. Just pull up the forecast of the new moon on the 28th, and you're going to hear them say the position, and they're going to say the sun and the moon are at 28 degrees on the new moon.
That goes to show you that show you how accurate the calendar is being, because the calendar, the big numbers are representing
the degrees.
The degrees, which the degrees are representing the days. Right? So you're at 28 degrees according to Set, according to Capricorn. And then the new moon is at 18.
No, the new moon is 28 too.
The new moon is 28 too. Sorry.
The sun and the moon are at 28 degrees.
The sun and the moon are at 28 degrees.
Because remember, they align. You're not going to see it with the full moon, but you will always see it with the new moon, because the new moon aligns with the sun. So wherever the new moon is, and they say, when they say new moon at such and such degrees, you know that's the 28th day.
Right. That's the 28th
So
day.
let's go back to Anubis. If you look at Anubis, where's the pink moon again? Again, 28 degrees. By the way, y'all, the new moon has been at 28 degrees for the past couple of months.
So
So
Oh.
there's something being said here as well. The I've heard astrologists say it, and still don't think they put two and two together to align this with third eye atlas traveling through these 6 months. Because they said the past 3 months were 28 degrees from October, 28 degrees, November, 28 degrees, December, 28 degrees. And you can see we just saw Capricorn and Aquarius at 28 degrees. So if you're looking at Anubis right now, and you see where the pink moon is again, it's on the 28th. It's going to be on the 17th. So you're going to hear them say, the new moon is on the 17th of February.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on the 17th of February. And it's what? At 28 degrees.
Yeah.
And what you see right there is the 28th day.
Okay. And look, I'm looking at the set, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't find it to be a coincidence that I saw this at set, where it reminded me of what you said, that when they are in their when they are in their 9th year and we are in our 1st year, meaning when 3D is in its 9th year, 5D is in its 1st year. If you look at 18 and 28, right? 28 is 10. 18 is 9.
9, 10.
So that's 9, 10. Looking at the new moon. So just looking at the new moon, you see the 9, 10. Let me see. In this, it's a little bit different.
It's the
because
17th.
it's
So
17.
it's at 8.
So it's at 8. Let me see what.
What it is in Newt.
In Newt,
it's a 28 again.
It's 28 again. You see that?
By 19 at 19, this time. So it catch up.
Right?
So it's 10. So the 8 and 2 is 10. And the 1 and 9 is 10. So this 28, you can see that there's a catch up there. There's a bridge here.
Yeah.
So you're seeing you see that even more with the third eye atlas, and why you see that this is the end of its what do you call it? It's 6 month travel.
Ecliptical.
And this is where we meet. And we meet wherever we meet at, wherever everybody chooses to be. But this is where we meet. And you see the 10. So the 2 and the 8 and 2 is 10. So the 2 and 8 is very significant because it's highlighting, it's echoing this new beginnings. And we are seeing this. You all just went through it with me. So you actually witnessed it 28, 28, 28 for the last 3 months of a new moon being at 28. So there's an emphasis on this new beginnings. And what did the 3D just enter into? Their new beginnings, their universal year of 1. They just entered theirs. So they're just catching up with us who have already been at a new beginning. And we are about to exit into the next year. We're about to turn into 2018, and we're about to be in our year of 2. We're going to be in our harmony of duality year. Right? For those who resonate. So even if you, and I'm saying this to all of you, because even if you haven't heard of it, or you might have thought, no, I wasn't in, you've been operating on 5D just by the work that you've been doing. So you are kind of calculated as being 5D, even if you never heard of it or you never considered yourself that. You were, the past year when stuff was happening with everybody, you were more likely having a universal year of 1. While everyone who may have been more in the 3rd dimensional aspects, not saying we don't have any 3rd dimensional parts, but those who have been mainly operating through 3rd dimension, they have been having a universal year of 9. They've been having a spiritual completion. We've been having a year of more new beginnings. So that means the things that you've been seeing, that you've been feeling intense, you haven't felt it crumble like the way they have. You're not feeling the intense what is it, like the finality. You're feeling more of, oh, this is new, it's time to do something new. You're getting more of that awareness of it's time to do something new, because you have been in a year of new beginnings. Does that make sense? even though some things
Yeah.
were closing out.
Yeah, it makes sense. And the things that I feel like that I have been feeling just throughout the year, it's like then when I listen to videos and stuff, people are feeling the things that I have been feeling the months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I would shift to the next part and then see or hear about people feeling like, oh, I was feeling like that a few months ago.
You're ahead. Some of us are months ahead. You know, some of us are like, you know, you'll kind of notice that a pattern. You'll be like, every time this happened in a couple months or, you know, however long the distance is, you notice that the collective is experiencing it now because you're in a different timeline. This is why I said they are catching up to us. So when people were saying Happy New Year, I don't even do Happy New Year because that's again to harvest your energy in a misappropriated position. The year has not ended, but it's ending for them. So what I said in response to them this year was Happy New Day for you, you know, or I call them Catch 'em Up Day. Because you catching up to us. Welcome aboard. Welcome into the transit in time right now. But it's not, the year is not over. We're in the important part of the winter season, and the year is going to begin when we hit spring. So even that, they harvest people's energy and they get them confused. This is why people start things in the new year and then they fall off after 2 weeks. Why? Because the energy don't match. You're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time of the year, at the wrong time of the season. This is not the time to get up and go and begin all of this new stuff that you know, January 1st come and everybody get pumped up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's like, nah, sit your behind down and marinate. You're supposed to be marinating on some stuff. You're supposed to be reflecting on what set is showing you that you've been set tripping on. If you get up and get busy, how are you going to look at what you've been set tripping on? How are you going to have that awareness?
It's so crazy because every time I try to do something, like start something new, the universe be like, it forces me not to do nothing.
The universe say, "Sat down."
That's not it.
Sat down. This is not the time for that. You're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time of the year, and that's why people fall. The gym. Everybody go to the gym. The gym be packed. After 2 weeks, the gym get empty.
What? It's really a time for rest, and I have like really paid attention to people saying that more within the last couple of years, but it really didn't, like, I guess, sit on my spirit the way it was supposed to until this year. That like we really are supposed to mimic nature.
Exactly.
You know, with how we function.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. I was hearing it circle around. Thank you, Miss Gloria. We are supposed to hibernate, and not to hide, but to take a stance of reflection. We are supposed to reflect, be aware, so we can take the time to release, like let the dead fall away. You know, meaning like the dead leaves, the misappropriated thoughts and feelings, the things we don't need. Let all of that fall away and take the time to go through the transition of it, Anubis, so you can know what to take out at what time, and then be prepared for the release of it and be in the conclusion of it in Newt. And then you get ready to go. Our go time is supposed to be, let's go back up here. Our go time is supposed to be Asar. This is it. This is when you like, all right, because you're preparing while you're releasing, ideas are flowing. So you're supposed to be planning, preparing, not doing stuff, but preparing for what is to come, so that when you do it right. Ashe?
And that's why it's Ashe. And it's important to be in sync with your own body, because if we paid attention to that, we would be resting, and then being okay with resting instead of, because I know I practice resting and not feeling guilty about it.
Yep. Take the
'Cause
rest.
You feel like you're supposed to be doing something, but you know, just recognizing that and being okay with resting.
I've
Mhm.
been working on that. It feels like it doesn't even feel like my internal pressure because I feel like I have come to terms with that, with making myself feel bad about it. It feels like outdoor pressure. Like I could feel the pressure from outside to be doing something, you know?
Mhm. Yes.
That's amazing.
Ashe. And then I just saw, as I was looking, okay, the first 3 months, let me make that correction. It's not 28, it's 29. Either way, it's at the end of the cycle, I believe, is what they were noticing, what the astrologists were noticing, because they were saying the first 3 months, ever since October. So what I saw in the pattern is 29. You see that pink moon right there is on the 29th. So it's been at the end of the cycle. It's been at the closing of the cycle, and it was 29 3 times, just like it's 20, just like it's 28 3 times. It's 29 3 times. So I'm going to show you right now. Look at my ot. Where is the new moon? 29 degrees. I'm going to scroll down to Sekhmet, to Scorpio. Where's the new moon? Right here. 29 degrees. And again, on the month of Sagittarius, new moon, 29 degrees. Three months in a row. And then these 3 months, it was 28, 28, 28. So bringing it, and this is within the New Year shift, while we are all at universal year of 10. So there's an emphasis on this new beginning where we all meet at a universal year of 10 for these 3 months. That every new moon for these 3 months is a 10. So you know this is a major shift that is happening. Ashe?
Ashe.
So with that's so now we see the days. So let's see. We went through the weeks. We went through looking at the months. Everybody see the months. And then we went into the days, so you understand that the days are degrees. Another thing you can look out for, let me see, I saw it more here. This is another thing you can do with playing with the numbers sometimes. And there's something that this guides you through as well. Was it here or it's in Anubis? We have these days that we call the bridge days. So meaning the bridge number is the number between our day right here, the 1st, and the 3D day, the 21st. So that bridge is a 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the 1 up here is a 4. So the bridge number, this, if in case you may hear me say bridge number, the bridge number would be when you add all numbers from our day and their day is a bridge number. So sometimes the reason why I'm pointing that out, because you can see the emphasis. Remember, these numbers are all dimensions, 1 through 9. So sometimes you can see if you count a day like what we did earlier, like we did today's day. Today's day was what, a 4? And sometimes the universal code day will match the bridge day. That's highlighting to you to emphasize something about that number. Whatever that number means for you, or if you hear something as a resonance, like you're listening for truth resonance all around you, is what I'm highlighting. So you look at, it may be a 4, like today is a 4, and maybe the bridge day may be a 4 too. Just giving it as an example, and I'm not saying that what it is. So that means foundational balance. So I may utilize that to look at truth resonance all around me, particularly that day may be a portal of foundational balance, in finding that foundational balance, in walking in the foundational balance and seeing it or embodying it. So I say that so that as you utilize these numbers, you can find other energetic hotspots through numerology. Does that make sense?
Yeah, when you give the meaning of the numbers, are those numerology meanings of the numbers? Is that where you got that from?
Internally, through meditation, but because you'll get different numerology meanings. So you can look up numbers. That it depends on what resonates with you, because you can look up numbers and you can go with what a number means for you. So for instance, say all your life, every time you see, this may be a coincidence to you, right? Every time I see this number, this happens, or it just means this for me. This may have been happening haphazardly through your life, but the universe is somehow, this is what it registers to you as. So you may read in a book that this number means da 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 da, but all your life, this number has meant something else to you. It held a truth resonance for you. So I would always say, go by what it means for you first. And you can always infuse it, because, you can always bridge it with other meanings as well. So look at that first, but you can also look up numbers. You can look up numbers and see what they mean, the dimensional numbers mean. The ones that I give, that's what was given, again, like downloads through meditating and stuff like that. I believe I got this in 2023, right? When I started doing the dimensions. Numbers. Yeah. And I started the same year that all of this was opening up. And then I would be like, Spirit, well, what does that mean? And it would just, then it'll just give it to me. And then I would just write it down like, okay, this is what it means in the dimensions of time. But it may mean something else in another spiritual aspect. And then when you look at it, it all goes together. Like someone told me, for me, I got the number 5 means physical, spiritual balance. And then somewhere else, someone was saying it means change. And everywhere I look, I kept seeing change. And then it all infused together. And it was showing me, yes, it's the same thing. It's almost synonymous. In order to have physical, spiritual balance, or when you have physical, spiritual balance, it creates change. It brings change. Every time there's a physical, spiritual balance, it is change. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So a lot of times you may have a different way of saying it, but it means the same in other perspectives. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, good. Because I like when it broadens our, expansion. So that way we're not just looking on the number to mean this one particular thing. It's expansive, and you know that it can mean this within this. And that because it means this, it also means that. Ashe?
Ashe.
Okay, so yeah, that's other numbers you could look out for. So I believe we got into some stuff. I'm loving this. I'm loving how the calendar allowed us to look into other aspects and bring it into things that's happening in our life, world, and affairs, and make it very tangible for us, that we're seeing it in our minds and in our lives. And now when you hear degrees and things like that, you can look at your calendar. You might even want to challenge yourself. You may hear degree and be like, oh, that means today, if the sun is at 14 degrees today, that means today is the 14th.
That's right.
And then you can go to your calendar and be like, there you go. Doggone it, I'm right.
Yeah.
Today is the 14th of Aquarius.
Yeah. And that, that tell you what you were saying earlier on, right? That there are many calendars.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even though there are many calendars, there are very few variations as to what the day in the house is going to be. There are going to be very few variations of what the day in the house, or the day in the, what do you call it? The house.
The house, the sign, the month.
Yeah. So the biggest variation is really the year, which is the accumulation of even the 24,000 year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be that much off. You can't pinpoint it. You can't pinpoint the whole thing to be exact, but you can have a very, very good reference.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the calendar as it is right now, I am seeing that this is a very, very good reference.
It's very close. Like as I'm going through it with you all, I'm amazing myself. I'm like, wow, like I got to go back and I'm like, wow, 28 degrees, 28 right there. It's like,
Right.
It's very spot on actually with the
Mhm.
degree and the day. So
And remind me, there was something about some occasion or something happening the 28th of each month
when this
for
month,
the past
6
6 months.
months.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what I was just making the correction. These 3 months are 28. The first 3 were 29.
No, but there is something happening like it's reported astrologically
Mhm.
that for the past 6 months on the 28th of each month something happened. I don't know if it's the
It could be the changes in the earth. I don't know if it's certain things because the
we
earth is
talked about it.
affected.
And
But it might have been what before I found this correction now, because from what I remember out, that's when I was thinking that the other 3 months were 28 too,
yeah,
but they're not. They were 29.
according to what we have here.
But you know what? It may vary. I'd have to go back and listen to what they said. 28
Yeah,
degrees.
we
'cause
looked it up. It's
'cause
28, exactly 28 according to what they say.
they said it was 28 degrees, the new moon. So I'm gonna reference that and see. I have to go
Oh,
back and
there it
look.
is.
But the astrology forecast was actually saying, even though we see 29 here, as I've been showing you all here, the astrologists were saying it was 28. So I'm going to go back and double check it. Maybe I just have it 29 here because sometimes, like I said, it's not that exact. So it may be a couple, minutes and seconds off. 28 is right, like 29 is right behind 28. So it may just be a little bit off, but they were saying that it was 28 degrees for the past however many months. So just to kind of highlight that, but you could look it up and see as well.
Yeah,
So
and it depends on a person's time zone too, because you know how sometimes
yes,
yes, right,
yeah. So it could be close to midnight somewhere.
Exactly. So the shift in the time zones could make a difference. This is why I said it can't be too exact because between the time zones, what's that called? That longitudinally or whatever. I always mix up latitude and longitude. But between the time zones and the hemisphere, northern, southern hemisphere, it's gonna be, a little different in particular areas. But we have the general idea. So was there something else? So yeah, look out for those numbers. The main thing to know about this calendar that I want us to just make sure, just so we have an easier understanding, is the months are the houses.
yes,
The days are the degrees. Or instead of houses, you may say signs, whatever word you use for those astrological signs. The months are the astrology signs or houses. And the days are the degrees. And once you see that and stick to that, it'll help you to, keep following along and being able to see it. And as you can see along the top, you'll always be able to find what you're looking for. And so before I go, I'm just going to show that, like, let's say birthday. This is how I've been teaching the girls this calendar. My daughters is through the birthday. So we all have looked up our birthdays. For example, mine's is Libra. Mine's is my birthday's October 18th. So I taught them how to find their 5D birthday. So I would go to right here where it says September 23rd to October 22nd. So I know my birthday's up in there. So I'm going to look, let's say I didn't know nothing about the degrees and day, and I'm looking by the little numbers. So I'm going to look for the little numbers until I see the 18th, and I get all the way down here, and I'm like, oh, okay, down here, here's the 18th. Well, then that is the 26th day of Libra, the 26th day of Ma'at, which tells me I'm born at about 26 degrees of Libra.
Yeah.
So it may be a little off and on because every year something, just like how the days change every year, it may be a little bit off, but I'm going to look at mine now and tell you, and I can guarantee you that my degrees is going to be the final degrees of Libra. It's going to be somewhere between 23 to maybe 28 degrees because on here it says the 26th day. So when I pull up mine, just to confirm it, and you can look at yours too. You can use your calendar to look at where your birthday is and then look at the degree and be like, oh, okay, that means I must be born around those degrees.
Mine says 19 degrees.
Mine's sun is in Libra, and see, it says 24. So like I said, mine's is going to be what? Between 23 and 28 degrees is when, at the time of my birth, mine was 24 degrees. But today, at the year of 2020, 2017, or whichever year we're looking at this particular point, it happens to be at the 26th degree.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
That
Yeah, I was looking at mine when you had first said that, and I was like, oh yeah, I like that. That's cool, because mine is, yeah, at the same degree.
Yeah, because you're Leo, right? So I can go right to Leo, and yours is what? What day? July
24th.
Okay.
It's the 2nd degree.
Down here. Oh yes, early 24th. Up here.
and it's the second
degree. So you're at the beginning. You're in the early stage. So you're in the first decan. So I tell
What does that mean?
huh?
What does the first decan mean?
Oh, decans, that's a whole nother thing with signs too. We're gonna have to go deeper into that too. But simply put, there's 3 decans to each sign. There's the first 10, the second 10, and the third 10. That's how you get 30. You see the 30?
Okay.
There's a
Another
3
3.
again. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a 3, there's a 30. So the first decan, and this also goes with the decans tell you at what part of the sign you're at. So I could already tell, like say Carrie, she's in the first decan. She's in the awareness, what I call the introduction. There's like we said, the 3 parts, right? Introduction, transition, and conclusion. She's born at the part of the month that is the introduction or awareness of Leo. So that's the stage that she's in about Leo. She's more in her birth time. She's more about being awareness, bringing awareness, everything that is awareness about Leo. If she was born somewhere in the middle, she would be more transitory of that sign, the transitory aspect of that sign. So a lot of things, that would mean a lot of things shift in your life. You're here to bring change, be about change, be the point of change. Like you may realize in your life, I've been that part, you know, and if you're in a third decan, you're more conclusionary. So a lot of things are the final aspects of that sign. You bring about finality, or you emphasize finality in your life.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I asked because my birthday is the 7th degree of Peru.
It's the 7th degree?
Yeah.
Of which one? Where's your Heru?
I'm a Leo as well.
Oh, you're a Leo too. So yours is here, 7 degrees. So like the 29th of the end of July?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you're in the first decan too, like Carrie. So the awareness phase of Leo, or introduction phase of Leo.
You see how they separate people?
10,
11 through 20, and then 21 through 31.
Yeah. So like 1 through 10. And if you look at it, look at this, how they throw us off with the months. The same way they threw us off with the year is the same way they throw us off with the month. So they put you in, you're not aware of Heru. By the time you get to Leo, or Leo begins in July, but by the time you catch on, you're like, oh, we're in the month of August. By the time you get into August, we're in the second decan of Leo. We're in the middle of Leo. So you miss that first decan. You miss awareness.
Confusion.
You see that? They throw you into confusion of every sign. They throw you into the transition part. And transition, as y'all all know, the transition is not easy. It's already difficult to transition. So you get, thrown off a little bit each month from the natural order of things.
Wow.
So think about, exactly. So think about when you course correct now, when you get back in alignment with the true month, you don't miss the awareness part of the month. You don't miss that first decan. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
We get thrown into the mix at the transitory part, and then be forced to deal with a crazy conclusion, in the middle of the month, or the month begins here, and then our conclusion is here at the end of Leo.
Yeah,
Where's the conclusion here? By the time we get the conclusion, it's the 22nd of August. We're outside of July
that's in the middle point
of August.
of August. That would be considered what, the second decade of August.
Yeah,
So you're all sorts of confused.
exactly. So you're not operating in your conclusion because you're operating in the transition.
Transition.
Of that month, of
Mhm.
their man-made month.
That's why a lot of people don't say they don't get results with horoscopes, with horoscopes,
Horror. It's a
Right.
horror story.
Right. because of things like these.
Mhm.
They have the culture of reading, but the culture of reading, they're reading the wrong things.
And they're thrown off with time.
Yeah.
They're mixing. Even when I listen to astrologers lately this year, it was kind of hard listening to them talk about the new year and this and that. And it's like, but you know that it's something off about that. So we can't be preparing people for a new year when that's not where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We really have to honor these houses as true months.
Yes.
So therefore we enter the month correctly, and we can take full advantage of the awareness stage, the transitional stage, and the conclusion stage so that we can master it every month.
Yes.
Ashe, you were going to say something, Miss Gloria?
Yeah, help me with mine, please.
Oh, where's your month again? What month are you born? Pisces. Newt.
So it's the 12th, but I heard what you said, so I go all the way to the little 12, and it's the 21st. But I see a lot happening on the 12th, where the portal is opening, and then on the 21st is closing. Where they have the little 12, the portal is closing. So what does that look like for me? It looked like an opportunity.
Oh yeah. Wait, yours is the 12th of wait, the little 12 you said?
Yeah, Newt, the last,
The 12th of March?
Yeah, I see it. The 12th of March, which is the 12th and 21st. That's a 3. You're operating in a creative completion. I already see that off rip. 21 and the 12. That's a 3-3.
That's really good, huh?
Yeah, that's a creative completion.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me see what the portal is. What does it say? Because I don't have my glasses on. What do you see?
Which one?
Three.
Top or the bottom?
Down the bottom.
The bottom says it's a 3-3 portal.
Okay, see, I saw that already in the numbers. And then the top.
The vortex is closing.
And the top is a closed vortex. Now the top is for the 5D and the bottom is for the 3D.
The top is for the 5D?
Yeah, because there's
a portal.
5D portal that opened on the 12th. The 12th.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Got it.
Yeah.
12 to the 21. And
yeah.
on her day, it literally
it
shows
shows-
it in the numbers, 12 and 21.
And that's
Okay,
something.
got it. Let me tap back my third eye. I'm back on. See, even I get confused because this is the 5D one. So this is, if you all remember, when we have the 12 port in December, 12-12 portal, just like today is the 11-11 portal. So at this point, there's the 12-12 portal that opens the vortex. The 12-12 vortex opens, and then it closes on the 21st, just like it does in December. So in December, we have the 12-12 portal, and then from 12-12 to 12-21 is a vortex. And so that's for the 3D, right? That's in December for the 3D. For the 5D, Newt is the 12th month. So that 12 that you see a little bit like the week before, you see that big 12? That's the 12th day of the 12th month, according to the 5D calendar. So that portal opens up, and it's now a vortex of 9 days. It's 9 days from 12 to the 21st is 9 days. That's usually how I know it's a vortex too, when I see 9 days in between, or 2 sets of 9 days, or 3 sets of 9 days. So this one is a vortex with 9 days in between, from 12-12 to 12-21. So your birthday on the little 12 is actually falling on the 21st that closes out that vortex.
So can I ask a question? I see, and just trying to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
On the 12, the big 12.
The big 12. Mm-hmm.
You have open vortex,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the portal.
Yep. It's a lot going on that day.
Yeah, for the Gregorian calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where on the Gregorian calendar, the vortex closes on the 21st, which is where the little 12 is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see where the vortex close on the little, you know.
Yeah, because it's not for the little one. That vortex is actually for the big numbers, 1212 to the 1221. But it just so happens that if you notice, there's an interplay. There's definitely, I'm glad you pointed that out because I'm going to look into that some more. There's definitely an interplay on 3, an emphasis and an interactive interplay between those two dates. Because the little number is a 3. Remember on your birthday, we saw the 3, right? You see the 12 and the 21, you see a 3 and a 3. Because 2 and 1 is 3. And then when you go back to that day, you actually see the 3, the little 3.
Yes.
And then you see, so there's definitely emphasis on a creative completion. There's definitely, like I'm hearing pow, pow, pacow.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a pow, pow, pacow happening.
333
within this particular vortex. But the vortex is really for the 5D numbers.
And to answer a part of your question, Miss Gloria, if you look at the very end of Newt, underneath 14 or below the number 14 or after the 20th, in the next box, it says, look towards the next calendar for the next set of 3 portals, 321 and 330. So that the end of that vortex is going to be on the next calendar.
Oh, that's the 3 to the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
That's that portal.
No, well, that's going to be there too, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the one she's asking about, which is the no, 3. You're right, the 3 to the 30th.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Mm-hmm. That's the 3 to the 30th.
That's going to be on the next calendar.
So that little 3 that you see right there is a 3 portal according to the 3D now, not the 5D. Mm-hmm. So according to the 3D, that 3 portal, because this is what the collective consciousness is aware of. So the 3 portal for that, and it's a vortex. It opens up a vortex of from all the way from the 3rd to the 30th of March. Mm-hmm. Which, as you can see, it's not on this calendar because it's on the 30th of March is going to be on the next calendar. So that's why we put that there. So from 3 from the 3rd to the 30th is 3 sets of 9. If you count it, you're going to see that's 27 days. 27 days from the 3rd to the 30th. So there's a creative completion. There's a spiritual completion times 3. So we're just really seeing a lot of 3s emphasized, and I'm glad you brought that. Your birthday just really smacked it in my head now. So we got something major happening within this 5D vortex of the 1212 vortex. So we will resume. We can possibly have a calendar, get together somewhere within that vortex next month. In the month of March.
Maybe we should change
and
the
see
color.
What comes of it. Which color? And it's also the full moon. So all that activity you see happening on the 3rd, you see the light pink moon.
Yeah.
So that's the full moon. That's the moon that we're going to be doing the workshop with. It's going to be a lunar eclipse full moon. And lunar eclipse in Virgo. So this is closing out that ecliptic window. So there's something definitely major going on. And I believe, where's the 16th? Little number 16, where are you? Okay. And the 25th. All right. That is when Third Eye Atlas is going to be having its close encounter with Jupiter as it exits our solar system and continues along its way. That is the final encounter with any of the planets in our system. So there's something major happening there, and we're going to get into that definitely some more. So I just wanted to at least get us started. So faithfully, everybody got some clarity, and you can open up your calendars and use them a little bit more, and see what days are what for you.
Yeah, this was a great help. I appreciate it. Are you guys on schedule to get the next calendar out?
We were just actually,
Yeah.
we were just like, let's get it out now. Actually, we've been talking about it last week because we want to have it ready for March for the spring equinox.
Okay, you can put me down for one.
Ashe.
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 I have one question. I wanted to enjoy the pictures, and most calendars have holes in them. Was there a reason you all didn't put a hole in yours?
No, like the hole up top, right? To hang it.
Hang it up.
Yeah, we may do that in the next one because someone was telling me about it too. Like the lady in Jamaica.
We'll do it.
Yeah, we're gonna. We were talking about it last time. So this time there should be some holes so you can hang it up and look at your pictures. Ashe, thank you for that reminder.
Yep.
Note that down. Must have holes.
When you do that class for the March one, I want to be in that one too.
Okay, definitely. So we'll be ready. So in March, we'll be there, and look out for the workshop. Those of you who believe me, this full moon, you're definitely going to want to work with this full moon transmutation. As you can see, everything has been intense, and this is a closure. This is a final closure to utilize everything you can to get what you can as we, cross this threshold into this next time space. Ashe?
Ashe.
Well, thank you all for coming. I had the live. I don't know how long, who could hang this long, but I had the live up this whole time. My apologies if it was too long live, but this was the first time that I was incorporating a live with our actual Zoom meeting. So welcome all, whoever got to see this and whoever sees this in the future. You can email me, akilatexture@gmail.com, if you have any questions. If you want to order, you can email me. If you want to do like Miss Gloria and put in your order right now, you can email me and for any other questions. With that said, peace, love, and light to you all.